Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Yakuza 3 Remastered. Now, I remember when I turned 18, I managed to pick myself up a copy of Yakuza 3 when the game was still new. And keep in mind that Yakuza 3 was the first Yakuza game to come out on the PS3. And I remember having fond memories of it, playing it, and getting really excited. It was like a newest game to kind of really enjoy. Now, when revisiting Yakuza 3 with my remastered games, I would say I have a more neutral feel to it. Now, the premise of the game is meant to take place sometime after Yakuza 2, where we see Kiryu in that and Haruka now running the orphanage at Morning Glory. And keep in mind, with the new setting in Okinawa, which is kind of meant to be based on Nasha and other areas, it kind of gives you this feel that Kiryu's life had come to an end and him settling down and kind of enjoying his new life. But after learning about a potential land deal from Daigo, as well as learning it from Nishiguro, as well as from other people, this leads to Kiryu going on an all-out mission after Daigo's been shot, as well as Nishiguro. And this kind of causes Kiryu to learn more truths about the military base, the planned resort, as well as learning what's really going on. And the story itself does feel a bit predictable, as you automatically can put two to two together and know what's really going on. And some of the villains are just a little bit hit and misses. Again, you've got Ming, who is kind of meant to be this opposite to Kiryu and kind of be this more successful character. Now, Gul Hashaki is supposed to be kind of this character that's just going to be there and never returns until the end. And when you kind of got Kanda, he's kind of like Japanese Harvey Weinstein, who kind of meant to be a big, dumb, bumbling oaf. And when you play as him, you are gonna need to be quite careful. And I would say some of the stories for the characters actually work, because when you've got Rikiya, he kind of reminds me a bit of Nishiki, and you can tell Kiryu does see a lot of him in him, and kind of meant to be this close friend-like character. And when you kind of got a character Saki, she kind of is interesting, and she does kind of doesn't show emotions until the end, which kind of gives you a feel that if you've been in her position, then you can kind of understand. Now, pretty much the game itself is actually enjoyable. You get to interact with some of the orphan children, as well as that you also get to go on all epic adventures in Tokyo, as well as Osaka, which kind of gives you this feel of not only the city life, but also the sea life, which I think was a brilliant idea. And heat action is still amazing, because when you take a weapon, press triangle, you can cut down enemies in a matter of seconds, or pick one up to spin them against other enemies, which does work. Now, at the same time, the game itself in the remastered version does cut down a lot of things, or changes dialogue from the PS3 version. Now, again, when you kind of got the dog named Mama, in the Western version for the PS3 release, it was originally known as Rex. I get it had to keep close to the Japanese version. And also when you kind of got other missions that were cut out, one that was meant to involve an over-the-top cross-dresser that Kiryu tries to flee and refers to her as it, and also one that was an arcade game that was meant to kind of be a more trivial about Japanese culture, which I think was probably for the best, despite on the person's knowledge of it. Now, at the same time, I do think there was a lot of things the game should have been, but it still feels enjoyable. You've got older characters still around, you've got characters saying goodbye, and yeah, you've even got hostesses that you can talk and interact with. And at the same time, in the remastered one, it does sort of change some of them depending on their licenses and how long it's been. And at the same time, I do feel the villain Main is meant to be a counterpart to Kiryu, and I think even the creators knew this. So I do think somewhere Yakuza 3 Remastered is not a bad game. The boss battles are fun, you've got something to enjoy, and if you do like the remastered version, then I do recommend giving it a go. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Review here, signing out.